Hello, welcome back. My name is Martha, and let's look at all this beautiful produce behind me. And even though I did not grow this myself this year, I'm still thankful for it. And there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have been able to grow here. Well, not a lot of things, but a few. And so now it's time to talk about what I bought, what I'm going to do with it. And the next video will be me breaking it down and processing it and telling you about what I'm going to do with it and why, and what I won't be doing with it and why. All right, the first thing we see is a half bushel of apples. I believe they're Pink Lady. They're pink something, but they are my favorite apple, and I've only ever found them up here where we moved to. So I bought those so that I can make apple crisp this weekend for a family dinner that I'm hosting, and I also want to can some. We love apple pie in the holiday season. So, and we'll eat some of these fresh too. Then over here is a full bushel of tomatoes. That's why I love our local farm store, because they have things like this where you can get a half bushel of tomatoes. I bought two, and so now I have a full bushel of tomatoes. I bought a half bushel of apples. I could have gotten a half bushel of green beans, but I got a peck instead because I already preserved some green beans. So my intention with the tomatoes is to do some more sauce, and I will be doing some juice too. But if you just watched or I have a little clip, I'll just throw it in right here. And this is why I am learning to be careful with what I can. Just a word of advice. Don't can things that you're not going to reach for often, or don't can too many of the things that you're going to reach for. This is half of the tomato juice I canned over the last couple of years. I realize that it's an excessive amount. This is a full soup pot, full, and there is twice as much. So I need jars for the things I want to have, because I know I will reach for them often. So now I'm gonna have to cook this down and find something to use it for, because I need to empty those jars. So just keep that in mind when you're canning. So the tomatoes, I'm going to do some diced tomatoes with onions and bell peppers. I love that for a quick goulash or lots of different things. And also when I do run out of sauce sometimes, I will drain the juice out and just puree it and make it into a quick tomato sauce. And because they're already cooked, it's done in a couple of minutes. So that's what I'm going to do with the tomatoes. Then I got a 10-pound bag of potatoes. I thought about getting more. However, I sold most of my canning jars before we moved because of the move being such an extensive move and a long distance. I was afraid of the jars breaking. And I know lots of people move long ways with jars, but that's just what I did so we could have extra space and we didn't have the extra weight from those jars. So all that to say, I don't think I'm going to can potatoes. I froze a bunch of potatoes, but then we started eating them and my husband doesn't care for the texture. So that's where I'm at. So I got one 10-pound bag of just Yukon Gold or something, some russet potato. And I got 2 yams. These are really big yams, and I plan on using those for the dinner this weekend too. I got some cauliflower and some broccoli. I didn't buy enough to preserve of those. We just will eat on those fresh. And then over here, so at our store, they have big onions, a bag of big onions, which is more expensive. And then they have what they call cooking onions, and they're much smaller. Whoops, there goes one. But anyways, they're much smaller, and I like these for, because a lot of times when I'm cooking, I'll only use half an onion. But these I got to can with my tomatoes. Now, I have found that canning raw onions, we don't like it, except for when they're in with the tomatoes. If you try to do like a soup or whatever, it gives a really weird flavor, and we don't like it at all. And then I got a whole bunch of bell peppers. Again, that's to go with the tomatoes, to be canned with the, and I like doing the multicolored ones because it just adds some prettiness to the jar. And I'm also planning on freezing some summer squash and some zucchini with some peppers and onions, so that way we can pull them out in the winter and saute those. So this is the farmer's market or farm store haul, and I believe I spent, oh no, I did, I spent $69.98 on all of these groceries. And let me see, was there anything? Nope, we didn't eat anything. So this is everything so far. And I do want to talk to you about why bother canning, because on my last video, somebody asked me that. Why bother to can? Well, I have a good answer to that, and I'm not going to take offense to that question at all. I am just going to take it as they want to know for their own information, because maybe they're considering it and they're trying to justify it in their head. So I want to help with that. And please don't go and try to find that comment to attack that person, because I removed it. I didn't want them to get bullied, but I do want to answer the question. I almost forgot to close this video. So thanks for watching. And if you're new, I hope that you will subscribe and just hang out with me on a weekly basis. I am just getting back into making videos after our long move and looking for jobs and all the fun things that goes with moving to a new state. So we moved from southern Kentucky to somewhere in the state of Michigan. So we're enjoying returning to the upper Midwest. It's definitely been a journey. So I hope you stay and follow us along this wonderful journey.